out for the Indians or something, but it's a bad situation to put these counties in. You know, making them hate on us, militarizing things, you know. I mean, and then what's going on out here right now is the beginning of a set of significant civil rights violations. I mean, they have tried to demonize water protectors, like water protectors are criminals. You know, and I'm like, well, who's the criminal? Who's the criminal? The guys that are discharging all of this carbon and contaminating our water with oil? Or some 22-year-old kid who stood in front of an excavator? Who's the criminal? Let me know on that one. You know? And, but up there by, they had a couple, like a number of arrests, but, you know, by Hill City, those arrests, you know, this kid's getting charged with serious felony charges, and it was in fact the excavator operator who broke the window in his own excavator trying to frame a kid. You know, we see that stuff going on, and you know, I'm telling you that people are going to be falsely charged. They're going to try to demonize these people up here, and it's going to make a huge mess for our state. All for what? Enbridge? Because they couldn't, you know, why can't we have our day in court? Why can't we have our day in court? Why you gotta, you know, what they're trying to do is put this pipeline through before we get our Court of Appeals date. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to get a pipeline done first, you know? And as they do this damage here, I have no idea how to quantify the damage, you know, but what I could say is, like, you know, you're gonna have to pick that all up, huh? You know, you're gonna have to pay for all of that removal. You're gonna do twice the amount of jobs, you know? Because, you know, like you saw what happened with Dakota Access Pipeline, the court ruled that they had to stop the oil. You know, we aren't even anywhere near that. You know, well, they should have to remove all the pipe too. You know, you don't get to do this to us, but, you know, so I don't know what to say. You know, I'm really, really grateful y'all came, obviously. You know, I'm really grateful y'all came, and, you know, you got to meet some of the people in here. These are like, you know, cool people from everywhere. We had a nice Hanukkah dinner last night. It was great. You know, we got all kind of people up here with us, and, you know, Shania told you people stop, and, you know, right around the road, people, I'm walking up the road, and one older woman, she stops and she says, you know, what can I do to support you? And I was kind of trying to figure out, I said, cookies? And she dropped off like 5 dozen cookies. You know, right?
Winona, can we get a lava mic on you?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry about that. She asked me a question, and then of course in my usual way, I just started. Okay. I thought I was like renowned as like the loudest person.
I have to save my other section of my tripods in the car. It's missing one leg.
No.
Did you guys see the yoga photos from yesterday? I thought that was great. Yeah, I didn't see the yoga video, but I was thinking that we should release like kind of like pandemic-friendly education programs, or you know, like outdoors programs. You know,
We
you
could
do
do
yoga
an
in the
outdoor
highway.
cooking show, Winona.
That's a good idea.
How about an outdoor cooking show
Yeah.
in the wigwam, near the wigwam?
Right. That'd be great. I mean, you know, because we had like last night, we had my favorite is fusion, you know, cooking. Oh, and here's one of the great chefs here. He's a great chef from Red Warrior. We've got some great chefs here. These guys came up and they made potato latkes. Y'all know what that is? You know, like the best stuff, man. And then it was funny because I had this apple sauce that came right after Standing Rock, and then I made a wild turkey soup. And then we put matzo balls in it. You should do, right?
Could you tell the story about the lodge,
All
Winona?
kind of animals. Excuse me?
Could you tell the story about the lodge that you told and the steak that you found out?
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, you guys hung out with me for 20 minutes or something. I mean, you know, I'm an actual Anishinaabe person. You know, and technically my legal designation is Chippewa of the Mississippi. That's what I'm called, a Chippewa of the Mississippi, you know, and all White Earth is also Mississippi Chippewa, which is one of the reasons we got such significant concerns about the 1855 treaty territory, because this is where we come from. This is where we live, you know. So, you know, been down here, and I just, you know, I don't know how to respond to everything, but, you know, it just seemed like we should just go pray down by the river, you know. And so we had our lodge down there. You know, we had our lodge down there, and we were praying down there, and you know, Tanya Abed and I, we're both members of our Medewan Society, and that's our one of our teachings. You know, is that lodge, and so we're down there, and then we come back the next week, and there's a steak in it. I was like, what? You know, cause I didn't know exactly where the line was. I just, we just had our lodge there. And, cause you don't spend all your time, they move the line here or there. I don't know, so we were just praying and they put their stake in it. And I thought, so then we was praying in the lodge with the stake. And then they came over and they put up this new law that they passed last Friday. This new law, which is the exclusion law. And they told us that they were gonna have this exclusionary zone. And I said, who's excluded? And they said, normal people. Yeah, you were there. You could.
there. Excuse us?
Yeah, I was like, who are
Define
normal
that.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that tribal members who have lodges? Who is normal? Yeah. So so then I was given a citation for that. I wasn't taken to jail for my trespass charges. But what we're thinking is that Enbridge has this permit that was issued by the Public Utilities Commission, and that permit has a lot of stringent conditions, right? And one of those stringent conditions is, that they're supposed to have a cultural resources monitor out there before they start digging. And and what was clear from this is that they didn't have a cultural resources monitor out there. It wasn't like taped around it. It was a stake in it. And so then we asked, I said, well, where's our cultural resources monitor? And then Sheriff Dan, he's going to be down there. He really wants to meet y'all. Sheriff Dan, guy from Aiken County, he said, well, they said that they're coming. The cultural resources monitor. And I said, so we waited. He said 15 minutes. He said half hour. He said, not today. And so then where is the person? Where's the person? And so then the next day I was told by Dan that the cultural resources monitor had come at 8 a.m. that morning on Saturday. I said, no, I was there. There's no cultural resources monitor there. And so you have this corporation that's raising heck in our state that's supposed to have a simple provision and cannot manifest that person. I messaged Paul Eberth, he was the project manager previously, and I said, Paul, where's your cultural resources monitor over on the banks of the Mississippi? He said, Fond du Lac's in charge of that. It's really Enbridge's responsibility.
Yep.
And so then our tribal historic preservation officer, who has the most experience and is probably one of the most experienced tribal, historic preservation officers in the state, Jamie Arsenault, asked Enbridge, ask all the other TIPOs who's in charge. Who's in charge of this monitoring? I mean, Enbridge has, just to be clear, they have 7 work sites. There could be lodges in other places. I don't know. The thing is that those guys keep asking me, who's in charge? I was like, I don't know. I just have a lodge here, And, but, so then, finally, and they wouldn't answer, but finally the state TIPO, got them to say that they have someone, but we don't know who the person is. We don't know what the name of that person is. And in the meantime, the Army Corps of Engineers, they came back and said it wasn't a historic lodge, well, first they said it was it wasn't a historic lodge, to which Jamie pointed out that, traditionally Ojibwe people rebuild their lodges. You wouldn't have you have to rebuild ceremonially, you have to rebuild these lodges, but there is a stay on that. There is a stay, but that stay was put in not by the Army Corps put that stay in. And so right now we have a stay on the destruction to our lodge, but let's go see, what we see. But so our lodge is protected, but the questions that we have are what is the, one, who's in charge of compliance? And I believe that the Attorney General will be in charge of compliance because Minnesota Public Utilities Commission doesn't have an enforcement division. So who's in charge of enforcement for the PUC? They signed this big contract, put our whole state at risk, and who's enforcing the contract? Good question to be asked. I think that the state should, with in due diligence, you would want it before you give away this land to that Canadian corporation. You would probably want to know who's in charge of enforcement. That'd be great. Because we didn't see it, and then we do think that would probably be Keith Ellison.
You spoke a minute ago about let the lawsuit proceed. Why are we building this with the lawsuit pending? Could you say a little bit more about that and a message to Governor Walz?
Yeah. I mean, Governor Walz likes to talk about process. And this is not about process. This is about corporate influence. That's what this is about. And some mythology that this is 23 jobs at the end of this. And I mean, I just want to say, everybody here knows that we're going to be fighting over rocks and pipes for the next 20 years until we have a just transition. We're going to be fighting over what little speck of rock is left that some corporation from Canada is going to mine. This whole area to the south of here, let's just be clear. Enbridge, when they're done, Kennecott Copper and U.S. Steel have leases for all of it. Tamarack Mining, mess. So what do you want to do, Minnesota? I mean, this is this complexity that I think requires leadership. And I want leadership from the government. I'm not seeing it. But, just in specific, we have asked, all of us, including the Department of Commerce, have appealed the certificate of need and the route permit for this pipeline, knowing full well that neither should have been approved by the Public Utilities Commission. In particular, the certificate of need should not have been approved because why would you approve a pipeline at the end of the fossil fuel era? When the tar sands has crashed, why would you approve a pipeline? When Enbridge has cut by 400,000 barrels a day its throughput, and move barrels into other pipelines, why would you approve a pipeline? Enbridge doesn't need this pipeline. The world certainly doesn't, and Enbridge doesn't even need this pipeline. If you had a real hearing, we would know that. But the PUC has illustrated its bias repeatedly towards Enbridge. And then in terms of the route, at what point does the environmental impact of, the equivalent of 50 new coal-fired power plants, or let's just take the 630 million gallons of water that Enbridge gets to discharge wherever they want to, it seems like. Who the hell would issue those permits? Excuse me. But, and then the state of Minnesota, I mean, I know you all represent the state of Minnesota, but I think they get, I don't know if it's $2.3 million, I think it's more than that, for the endangered species kills of Enbridge. So what, you issue the permit, DNR, and then you get paid for it? Wait, what makes sense? The route makes no sense, and the certificate of need. So we want our appeal heard in court. I'm not even sure exactly when that is. We have filed every papers and we're preparing our federal appeals. But the state should hear those appeals before they let Enbridge put in this whole line. Because what we find time and time again is that these projects fail in the course. There haven't been other pipelines built for a reason. The reason that all these pipeliners are here from Texas is because no one's building new lines. We want our day in court. The Department of Commerce deserves its day in court.
The legislators who are here today, what would you like to say to them, and how can they help?
Get us our day in court. Get us to stay on this for one. Pandemic would be good. I feel like that's like a little bit of a pass. Don't need a pandemic pipeline. I mean, two, figure out who's in charge of compliance, please. If you got fiduciary responsibility, someone should be in charge of compliance for a multinational corporation, who's running amok in northern Minnesota. I mean, someone should be in charge of compliance. Third, I don't even want to start with our state just went through a lot of trauma. We had an uprising in the cities. None of us even went to the cities. We was too afraid because we live way up here in the bush. We're like, oh yeah. It's like they're still fighting it out down there. I mean, like we wasn't going down there. And then you just have this election that basically made a mess of civil society in the north. I mean, the Trump signs up here everywhere, so much haters. And then this, what we need is peace. I don't really need it. I don't need to be under constant duress, and the people here are good people. A lot of people are coming up here because they, they're not, they just want the system to work for them. And they're about to face a whole bunch of arrests. And that's a lot of duress for a system that doesn't need to happen. And there's a lot of, 20-something-year-old college students that, face imminent arrest. And, how does that happen? So, there's a lot of reasons to stop this pipeline, let alone the environmental devastation. So, we appreciate, and then just, one more time, Like, you know, I'm a hemp farmer. That's what I was finishing is like my hemp thing this morning. I'm sorry I was a little late because I had to work on the next economy. I mean, like, let's have an economy that's good.
Yep.
Let's build an economy where people don't have jobs that make them into demons. You know, I mean, this is like a, you know, a conflict. You know, it's like conflict economics. It's based on conflict. It's not good for Minnesota. You know, and it's just the beginning. I mean, so anyway, I'm like so grateful that y'all came, you know, this is just this opportunity to do something cool, and I'm all ready for the just transition. You know, I'm all ready for, there's all kind of solar people. I mean, this whole county here, you know what? I mean, these guys got all kind of local food stuff. You know, nobody invests in these counties. Nobody invests in these counties, and then these multinational corporations come in with really bad ideas. You know, people look up here and they're like, oh, a bunch of bog. Yeah, well, you know what it has all kind of medicines in it. All kind of things, you know. And these people, you know, these economies need rural investment. I mean, I just finished my book, just came out, there's a chapter called Palisade, because of like how crazy the economic plans are for this place. The experimental city, any of you guys remember that? 250,000 people under a dome over by Swatera. Millions of dollars of state legislature funding. The nuclear waste dump proposal. The plasma gasification plant proposal. And a pipeline. Wow. Nice offerings. Sorry. Get a little cynical as a rural development economist. These guys ain't even Indians. I mean, I know we all laugh. Yeah, if there had been a tribe in the middle of it, man.
I wonder if we want to introduce the legislators.
Yeah, please. Could you guys all?
Can you come behind Winona, all the
Well,
legislators?
no, yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, can I just meet who some of you are? Y'all look like cool, and then half of you look like really cool, and you got big camera equipment.
Can you guys come behind Winona and introduce yourselves, please? All the legislators that would like to.
I'm gonna go get my skirt out if we're going lodge, was it?
And then they're making pies.
Are they good?
They're in the house.
We're trying to be COVID.
Heather, do you wanna, or Mary, do you wanna introduce everybody, or?
Sure. So, how mataki ape, I'm Peso Kine Shante Washte. Greetings to my relatives. I welcome you all with a good heart and a warm handshake. Very excited to have a number of our elected officials join us up here today on this absolutely glorious day. I mean, look at this beautiful, beautiful land that we are standing on. And let's remember that this was the original lands of our Dakota and our Anishinaabe people, and that is one of the reasons we are fighting so hard for this. And so we have over here on my right, we have a new Senate-elect, Jen McEwen, and Jen, you represent which district?
Senate District 7 in Duluth.
Yes.
And then we have our seasoned champion, Senator-elect Aaron Murphy. And Aaron, you represent?
The westernmost part of St. Paul, Senate District 64.
Wonderful, thank you.
My district. Yes.
Please introduce yourself.
John Marty, representing Roseville and several suburbs south of it, and then part of St. Paul.
Wonderful. We have another new Senator-elect, Lindsay Port.
Hi, from Burnsville and Savage in the South Metro, District 56.
Oh.
And I myself am currently a state representative in District 41B, but will move to the Senate in January to represent our entire district of 41. And then we have... This is the house side. We organized pretty well. We have our newly elected Anishinaabe sister, Heather Keeler.
Ihangtawan.
Oh.
Ihangtawan in Eastern Shoshone.
Oh.
My bad. And you represent which district?
4A, Moorhead.
Yeah.
And then one of our newest but shining star representatives, Sydney Jordan from Northeast Minneapolis. Which district?
68, Northeast Minneapolis and Southeast Como.
Oh.
Yep. And then we have another newly elected official from Rochester area. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Liz Bolden, District 25B, Northern Alberta.
Woo.
So we put the and these are the people that made the drive up here. It was a beautiful drive on a beautiful day, but we're all here for the reason of supporting the folks, the water warriors, and Winona and her team, and all of those that are working hard to resist this pipeline. So thank you very much for the welcome, and we're happy to be here.
Oh.
Representative Keeler, could you say a few words about why you're here and why you oppose the pipeline, please?
Sure. Well, I grew up on the water, so I am from the Yankton Nation, which is the Yankton tribe down in South Dakota. Water is life. I really worked hard at Standing Rock. I think that we have to respect Mother Earth because it's not just about what we do right now. It's really affecting our next generations, and I believe that when we leave, it's our responsibility to hand down Mother Earth in the best form, if not better than we found her. And doing things like this doesn't honor the people that I've always grown up around and believed in, and that soul and that spirit. And for me, this was a big part of why I stepped up to lead, so that we have a state that has inclusive decision makers that really see different lenses of life and different beliefs and different understandings in different respects. And so I do think also we need to have more honest conversations about respecting and honoring our treaties and our sovereign nations. And with 11 nations within our own state, we have to do better at that. And so I just hope to challenge people at the tables where decisions are being made so that we have a little bit more of an inclusive mind frame.
Thank you. Senator-elect Port, can we get a few comments from you, please?
Sure. Well, thank you for inviting us up here and for being so welcoming. I think for most of us, we're here to listen and to see how this is affecting the community. We've heard and followed along for many months, many years, but being able to come up here and actually see it and be able to take our experiences back and amplify them, amplify the voices of you all who are doing the work up here is our job. And so thank you for having us and for sharing your stories. And we will take them back to St. Paul and make sure that the folks who need to hear them are hearing them.
So for the rest of the legislators here, we do want to interview all of you at some point. So if you haven't been interviewed and you're ready to go, come find me. Or I'm Brett from MN350, helped organize this. Or Ryan is our camera person. Winona, how close can we get to the lodge without going into that exclusion zone that you mentioned?
Let's go over there and see.
Okay.
See how it
That's what
goes.
we did on Friday.
And then Dawn was just here, and then she's just going to get some cedar. So we'll follow her up there.
Can we take one picture while
Yeah.
we're all actually here together?
I'm just gonna hold my skirt up, and then I'm gonna put it on here so I'm in the
Take me.
So, Nancy Bolio, the we're here with some legislators, Minnesota legislators, and we're here to share this.
It's all right, you were driving.
Construction.
Not today.
They just gave a press release, and I missed that part because we were making the
Am I in between the house and set?
Yeah, you're our bridge. You're our bridge to the environmental justice.
Look up, look up.
And we come here.
One more, and then I want you to do the old fist up, right fist up.
But what about the water protector one? Can we do that one too?
Yes,
I have like all these
absolutely.
like new
It's snowing out
gang
here
signs
today.
Awesome, one more.
And
One
there are
more. I
people
know that
camp
arm's getting
again.
heavy. All right, cool, cool,
So you see
cool.
the cars
Okay, this
all
is
the
the
way
wait. Just
down
one
there.
time. This is the water protector one. This is the new gang slang where it's
This side. Which side?
So we got our legislators doing the water protector.
All right, cool. Wow.
Is this hood? It's hood. Oh, this code is hood.
But it's a hand-me-down from my daughter and my grandmother.
Sponsor some
This is actually planned. This is not my plan.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, I'll send them out to everybody. You don't have to be there. First time we've actually like. No.
guys, they have a... They said lunch is hot, so you want them to hold the fire down? Because they're like already, they were sitting in their cars, they wanted to see
Hello. Hang on.
Today is Sunday, it's Lord's Day, and so Empress is easier. But,
Sunday, she said.
this land is held by our
Is this Sasha?
No, this is another Emma. I accidentally called this Emma,
Hello.
and I'm calling you.
Hi,
and this
hi.
is Emma that works with. You've seen her stuff. She's live all the time. This
Yeah.
is Emma that's live, like during the protest.
You go by like MLB,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, yep. It's nice to meet
Hi,
you in
nice to
person.
meet you
do
too.
fantastic work.
Yes.
Thank you.
Emma, I just got Emma 1. Sorry, I'm no longer. Emma, I got a question. So my audio sound.
I'm going to be gone when you all get back, but there's the people here who can help answer questions or get you in answers to whatever.
I'm gonna start walking so I can talk on this
Yep.
screen.
And then I will reach out to you when I get back home.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So, are you still live?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's
So
okay.
I got a quick question. So, all of a sudden, my audio is crap on my phone. Does it mean that I need to turn up the volume on my phone to make the mic work better?
Changing the volume on your phone won't change those.
So what do you think's going on?
Did your mic maybe get like
Somebody else asked me that
Yeah.
too. I don't think so.
I hope not, but
Because like I've rebooted and turned it on and off and it's worked. And then now, like I saw people saying I can't hear that well, and I don't because of masks or what. But I got to get a mic for this.
I saw that you have to charge your phone. When it's charged, I have a mic that you can plug in and try,
Wow.
and that should fix it.
Yeah, I know. I had a lot of people watching this. You got a lot of people on
I
there?
can't tell, and I've had to reconnect and do a few things. It hasn't been working very well.
Oh. You're my idol and it's not working well? What the heck?
Yeah.
John, you okay? Be careful, don't tear those quad tendons. 'Cause I know last time I fell, I almost fell already.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is Emma. Hopefully you can see this. I've had some problems connecting here. I'm following a group of Minnesota legislators. Winona LaDuke with Honor the Earth is up there. We're getting close to a site of the Line 3 pipeline in Minnesota that is currently under construction. We're just a little bit north of Palisade, Minnesota.
So if need be, we can use my phone to shoot our video.
Yeah, either way.
So hopefully you were able to catch a little bit of what happened earlier. I believe there's about 6 Minnesota legislators, or maybe more, here today, and we met here on Great River Road. Winona LaDuke welcomed everybody and talked a little bit about the pipeline situation. And now we're all walking up to the closest site where the pipeline is under construction.
Really solid reasons to come back.
thank you for tuning in today, wherever you might be watching this. Hopefully the connection is okay. If you could like this stream and share it, that would be helpful. For anyone that's just tuning in, we're live right now in Minnesota, just north of Palisade, with some Minnesota lawmakers that have come to observe the Line 3 pipeline construction.
Where are you going to stop it?
Yes, okay, I was going to say, I'm active with the DFT.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the second election, right?
That'd be too loud.
Yeah, I know. That'd be like too loud.
But the DFT would not. There's just too many.
Yes.
Too many connections.
Where's my, just got my, here, give me this thing back. You're gonna get injure yourself with it. Okay, so a couple things. Hello. How's it going today? Good, how are you doing? layers on there?
I do.
Okay. So where did Don go? And
He's coming back with
we will have our team over here to. All right. So I don't know if I should just talk to you while we wait for the rest of our people to show up. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So here's Don coming up to the front. And then Tanya over here. This is my lodge sister who built the ceremonial lodge with me. Tanya Abed, family from right over here. And then here we have Don Goodwin. And as some of you know, she got a citation yesterday as well.
Happy birthday.
On her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Right, so I thought maybe they could say a few things about how they ended up here. And then we could talk to you a little bit about what's going on here.
My voice is a little hoarse. Just a little. My name is Everlasting. I think you're all safe distance. I'm from White Earth. Join my sisters today here in our 1805 homeland. Place. Our people perished here in 1850 by Big Sandy Lake. Said they were tricked. The harvest of wild rice, our Minoman was not good that year. They said, go there and we'll give you money, we'll give you food. So all our leaders and people traveled there. The rations never came. People began to get sick and die. Old rations, which made the people more. Hundreds passed. It's so graves there by Big Sandy. Came in, flooded the air, so there's graves under the water. Speak that truth, sister. So after 1960, Chief Bijaki, he needed to do something so that the people would not have to leave their homelands again. By canoe, by ship, by train, by foot. Where they kind of, their voice fell on ears, discouraged. They kept on. Finally, they gained the attention of some legislators in Washington. A meeting for them, the people that were with him. Got the attention they needed, and they created the 1854 treaty. Shortly after, 4 months later, the 1855 treaty was signed. So those are sister treaties. That's where we're at. We are in 1855. Our ancestors are here. They've been waiting for us. We're here. We are still here. So I'm here because it is my inherent duty as Maingandu Dame to take care of the people. So today, first and foremost, I want to recognize all who have from COVID-19. I want to uplift the families that are suffering. I want to uplift those feeling on the brink of death. It does not affect everybody the same. Please do your part and do your best. And the sad part about it is I realized our water that we exchange, those are respiration droplets. That's water. Our water is making each other sick. Please, pause the pandemic at least. It's not a good idea to bring a bunch of workers from out of state. You've all seen that. From all over. Bringing it into our homelands. And us here today, we are even risking bringing this home to our families. My mother's elder. She's nearly 8. She is 80. My partner, my husband, has epilepsy. I take care of my uncle. So I am not just risking myself. I could potentially bring back something home. I don't understand. This is a bad idea. This line 3 is the worst idea ever. But I understand from the very beginning, when this was Sandpiper and line 3, my good friend, who was a retired MPCA, let me talk first at one of our first meetings in Rice Lake, Minnesota, Lower Rice Lake. Our community is adjacent to the proposed route. We hunt, fish, and gather right in that whole area preferred route is. We have berries. One year I picked 7 different that were ripe at the same time. That's where I'm from. And that's where I will also be protecting. Tar sand sinks in water. If you did not know that. And it's highly cancerous, carcinogenic. If you want to get more scientific, it's a bad idea. And not only does it put our water and our lands and our medicines at risk, these are all medicines, not just the plants, all the trees too. So it not only puts the actual environment in danger, it's also a danger on a climate crisis level. Because there's a lot of CO2 that's being in the air. Additional. It's like Mother Earth is stuck in a car with the doors rolled up. So if you don't already know how that feels, and if you really want to understand what Mother Earth is feeling, well, next summer, do an experiment maybe. I guess I don't.
Tell them about how you got arrested over here.
Oh, so yesterday, I will confess the other day, it was on accident that I shut down that tree shears. Yeah, Yeah. I kind of laughed about it for a few days because she's a warrior. Yeah. Well, it was by accident, but my mom said, no, you might have thought it was by accident, but she didn't think that was by accident. So yesterday, everybody was busy getting arrested, and I turned 50 yesterday. I didn't necessarily want to mention that, but you know, this is a good way to bring in 50. This is awesome friends. And so yeah, I didn't rest where I'm going to get arrested yesterday or cited. But I am thankful that I only got cited because I accidentally kind of caused a ruckus, and they wanted to throw me in jail. So, I was kind of wandering around, and I know those signs are there, but I just kind of seen on the corner of my eye the top of that balsam just go flying like it was nothing. And then maybe it spoke to me, I don't know, but it said, come pick me up. I'm being disrespected. So I just figured I could just kind of nonchalantly and go pick that up. But as soon as I did, whoa, I was in trouble. For freely feeling like I was free to be able to practice my treaty rights.
Yeah.
Within reason, you know. I didn't know I was supposed to get an escort to go and do that. Yeah, so I wanted to ask the sheriff to not get too riled up, or the DNR, or what now their new name is, destruction of the natural environment. The DNR, destruction of the natural environment.
I like that.
So yeah, that's how I got the citation, because they are serious about those signs there on our 1855 land. So I just asked the sheriff not to get too excited about things. I'm not going to tie myself to machines or anything like that.
Today.
Yeah, today. I'm not going to do that today.
Yeah, accidentally do it,
Yeah. So, I live in Clearwater County. I watched it all unfold. So I think I lost track and telling you all this stuff that I've been witnessing and learning and whatnot. So I was at my community meeting. They were doing a hearing. And my friend let me go first before him. So I did, and I gave a speech like today and talked about how Clearwater County is Clearwater County for a reason. We want to keep it that way. And then it was his turn. And the DOC was there, the PUC was there, the DNR, the MCT, who else was there? All the entities, anyway, DNR, yeah, and PCA, they're all there. And then Willis said, whatever we say in this room does not matter. Because this is bigger than all of us. We want to make our words matter. It's been so long that these treaties been ignored and not upheld. People don't know about them, they're not taught about them. But it's not okay. And we're here to say, on behalf of my grandmothers, my elders, my ancestors, our future, our youth, on behalf of everybody, it is not okay. It's gone too far. And we're standing up to say, no more. My people can't heal. We can't heal until we're heard or listened to. Maybe you hear Like my vow is to do what I needed to do to protect my community, the water, the animals, the future. What are you gonna do? I resigned my job that I was at for 10 years as an adult educator. I ran out of PTO because I was running all over, going to meetings here, meetings there, PUC. Then we had to get involved with our own tribal politics. So more PTO. And then my boss says it came to be July. And my sisters of Rye said, Don, when are you gonna get done with your work? You're missing out on some important things. And I said, well, soon. I don't want to leave my boss. Her husband is dying of, he's got cancer, and I don't want to just leave her. Well, I used up my PTO and I only had like 64 hours because I didn't have any PTO to use anymore. And she said, what are you gonna do? We better talk about this. Think about it. Well, I had been thinking about it for several years. And over the 4th of July week, a year ago, the year before, I put in my resignation. And there's even more to that story, but I'm not right now. I wanted to help people more in a different way. And then I thought, well, for money, I'll probably do my artwork for a little extra money, since I put that aside. No time for it. But I haven't even had time to do that. But it's there, it's looking at me. I have some clay. I do clay. Maybe I'll be able to make some clay jewelry that you can buy. I'm just kidding, if I get around to it. Anyway, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I quit my job. And then I thought, well, I wonder if I should draw my PTO. And then this disease came and I thought, oh, maybe I better draw my PTO out. So yeah, that's what I did, because we are in crazy times right now and I'm going to that extent. So if that's what you need to do, so that you can give all your time to this effort to stop Line 3, this horrible idea, please do that. Join us here in Minnesota. You can get in some nice ice fishing when the lakes are safe. Yeah. Or you can walk out there. You can always park your little ice fishing house on the side and walk out on there instead of drive. Yeah. So yeah, we welcome you to all come out, enjoy winter. We got some awesome trails for skiing. There are snowmobile trails too. I wonder if they've made electric snowmobiles yet. Oh, well, we're waiting on those electric snowmobiles. So yeah, I'm gonna hand it off, and like my name, I guess I was given Everlasting Wind. I had that off the tongue, and now before I have one more, that's so I just wanted to say, so the sheriff is gonna walk us down there after this. I asked Tanya, she built the lodge with me to say a few words, and she's been exercising First Amendment rights here very much. And maybe just a couple minutes, and then because we'll walk down there. But we're gonna walk down this way because that other way is it's too slippery. Okay. You want to just say a couple things? Sure.
Bonjour. Joy Rikisu Kukwain and there's in the cause. Pakwa Minomini Kamin is an aquang on doing Jaba, or was a CDA. Bungi at the Goni and a touch of Win. Forgive me, Shakanashimo Win. My colonized name is Tanya Abid. I'm so happy that you're all here to see the new zoo that's put up to house the Enbridge construction workers here. I'm not as nice as my sister Dawn or Winona. You know, this is my treaty territory. And these guys are coming across my treaty territories. And they're preventing me from exercising my inherent right here to collect medicines, to hunt, fish, and gather. We got DNR and law enforcement holding Mother Earth's arms down as these construction workers rape, murder, and kill Mother Earth. You know, that's really sad for me to see them doing that to her. And since I only live just down the road, I quarantined myself up here to be able to prevent the pandemic of the COVID-19 from spreading any further. To let these guys know, these out-of-state guys know that's what they're bringing here. Enjoy the walk back out to the river. Pray for her, because there's 68 million people downstream that enjoy that water. Over at Kalamazoo, where that oil spilled, I had someone that has a relative over there that said they can't even eat the fish. They can't eat the fish. What's going to happen with our water? To kill the Monoman? Even Dan Guyder, the sheriff here, he goes harvest the Monoman too. But he is taking down as game rapers over here. The construction workers are raping Mother Earth. And like I said, Enbridge built their own zoo. Do not feed the animals. That's it. Peace and Dawieg, miigwech.
Oh, miigwech.
So let's just walk over here really quickly so you can see, and then we'll go down to see something beautiful. Does that sound okay?
Can we do the ties real quick?
Yeah.
Can everyone turn their cameras off for 1 second, please?
I have a gift for the legislators who came today. I was asked to do this by our elders.
I've brought the camera to the back of the crowd here and turned it because they're doing a ceremony in the middle of the road that cannot be filmed. For anyone that's just tuning in, we're at the Line 3 Resistance in Minnesota, just north of Palisade, Minnesota. There are Minnesota lawmakers here today to observe the pipeline construction. We've been hearing from some of the water protectors that have been here, sharing the reasons that they're resisting the pipeline here and where they come from. And we're about to head in to see some of the construction. We're right on the Mississippi River. Thank you everyone for tuning in and sharing this live stream.
Pipeline coming through. That's not what we need here in Minnesota. We already got 6 other pipelines here in Minnesota, and they want to call this a
connection up here is really bad, so hopefully you're able to see what's going on, but that's why I did not want to stop the live stream for this moment and just scooched it over, because I'm afraid that I would not be able to reconnect again. For those that don't know, if you want to learn more about Line 3, you can go to stopline3.org. There's been a significant resistance to Line 3. It's a replacement, this section. The resistance has been happening for years, but it was just recently approved and construction has begun here, so the resistance is ramping up. There's been a call for more water protectors to come here, just north of Palisade, Minnesota. The Line 3 replacement project cuts straight through northern Minnesota and crosses multiple rivers and goes through a lot of wetlands, waterways that are used for wild rice harvesting. The Mississippi River is right here. The headwaters of the Mississippi are not too far from here. So there's a lot of concern putting another pipeline in the ground. Pipelines do leak. It has the potential to devastate a way of life up here. It has the potential to negatively impact the drinking water source for very many people that live downriver of the Mississippi.
I'm cold. All right, look up. Awesome. Rock the boat, native style. Woo!
Thank you, Nancy. Yes, and you guys too, you know, I reflect on Heather is that our words continue to fall on deaf ears and out of desperation.
Okay, I'll get you some now. But I need more. So well.
Outdoors and this.
You know, we were doing on the road yesterday. They were doing that's how we all stay warm.
I constantly reminded our voters that our work isn't done on November 3rd. It's just beginning, because you know what? We're going to keep showing up in a good way. We're going to show up with peace and prayer, and we're going to defend Mother Earth and all of us. We do this work for not just us. We do it because we care, and we're all treaty people here. You know, so what we do in Rise Coalition is that we educate people that treaties are a two-party agreement, and they're very much alive today as the day they were signed. And treaties intend us to be good neighbors and stewards of the earth, and we're not doing that right now. And then what really upsets people like myself, has got an order 1924, government to government relationship. You know? Sister Peggy, I love her to death, and I don't blame her right now. Her, his own lieutenant governor, is her tribe. The appeals in court yet. He dishonored her. He dishonored the executive order. So today I'm asking you guys, if you guys can reach out to Governor and say, what does that mean to you to make a better executive order? And I'm asking you guys too to move it into legislation, because this is out of this. That executive order it's gone. So we ask that you guys work hard to include us in every conversation. We should be in the, in the decision process, because you guys are here under treaties. We gave you the right to be here. We gave you guys the right to hunt and travel and fish here. It's not that you guys gave us that. And most importantly, we never gave up our right to protect all that is sacred. That is our inherent right, a sovereign. We are sovereign people, and we should be a part of that protecting what's out here. And right now, if this was a replacement project, we wouldn't be standing in Palisade, Minnesota. We'd be closer to Leech Lake, replacing a line that already exists. This is actually a new corridor. And so what really bothers me, how does Enbridge continue to keep having false commercials and get away with it? That should be a violation of Minnesota statute, because they have told whole Minnesota this is a replacement. It's actually a relocation. So we got a lot of Minnesota support in replacing what's bad, and it's all bad in the first place. But you know, we need to hold corporations more accountable. They do not have more rights than our people. So we need to start checking on Enbridge and babysitting them, because you know what? They're controlling us here in Minnesota. And they're threatening our water, our culture, and who we are. We can't have that no more. So, Chimigwich for all you do. We're going to keep supporting people like you, and people like myself. We're just going to keep educating our people, and we're going to keep showing it up, and we're going to keep showing it, and we're going to learn how to play that game, and we're going to learn how to play it better. Have a good day.
Okay, y'all ready for a little cross-country trek? We're gonna go down the public right-of-way here. I mean, this is all public land. Y'all got that? Just want to point that out. I always felt like I was public. That's what I was thinking. I've been thinking that my whole life. I'm the public. Anyway, so the sheriff here has said we could go down here. He's back. Where'd Sheriff Dan go? Oh, he's over there chit-chatting. You know, the sheriff's office is, you know, so we just go straight down here. You can follow me. We can trudge together. And so this is, you know, I don't want to take you underneath the power line, because we all know we all get zapped. Basically, that's the route. And we got to come back up this way, you know, because this here is the pipeline route, as you can see. As you can see, this is, I don't know what this thing is in here, but I think they're going to put the drill in. That's what I understand. And the drill is going to drill under the Mississippi River. They've already drilled under the Willow River. Or they're drilling under the Willow River in this really crazy thing. And down here, what you will see in the tree, I just want to point this all out to you. This here, if you look down there in the tree, there are two 20-something-year-old water protectors in those trees. They've been there for over a week. Willow and Birch, I think are their names. Very, very courageous. They cut all around underneath them, threatened them. People threatened them. They were going to cut those trees down. Those kids have been up there for well over a week.
There are two water protectors, if you didn't hear that are up in the trees, right above that truck back there.
Facing charges. I just want to point that out to you, because those are somebody's kids.
Right there.
Those are somebody's kids that are water protectors, and they didn't come here because they wanted to go, you know, sit in a blizzard or sit in really cold temperatures in a tree. They came here because they wanted to protect their water. So, keep those guys in your hearts and your prayers, and, you know, I don't know, but I believe that Enbridge's equipment is going to go down here, and they're going to drill. They have to go like at this certain angle, so it's way down underneath the river. That's what the requirement is, you know. And they're doing this kind of really invasive drilling in about 12 locations. They're trying to cross all of the river crossings before we get to court. They played all the do this because they're the most damaged, you know, we're in a wetland. This is the one to do it. You know, if you're a pipeline company, and also they just want to get everything done. So, you know, they got there's equipment on the but this is rigs, full of rigs. It's really scary, and the plates, as I said, are all out of state. Talk about this for a Canadian multinational. Did I say that several times already? Like sometimes I think if I said it was a Saudi company, would anybody say, "Oh, we don't do them"? My point is it's a foreign multinational. You know, I think it's way too much credit. All right, let's go over here into this. I'm going to welcome you to the zone that Lee and our commissioner created on Friday. It's called the exclusionary zone. It was created on Friday. One of the questions we've had is, you know, obviously the 1855 treaty and the American Indian Religious Freedom Act preceded the exclusionary zone, right? The designation. So, here we go. I assume down is a company down.
Thank you everybody for watching and sharing this live stream today. This is Emma. I had to kind of consolidate my streaming because the signal is not very great up here, so I'm streaming to a couple of places right now. Hopefully you are watching me on Status Quo right now. I am guest streaming here from the Line 3 pipeline construction to show you some of the resistance efforts. There are some Minnesota lawmakers here today visiting the construction. The group has been given permission by the sheriff to go in and take a look. That was Winona LaDuke that was just speaking. Before that, somebody did rightly point out, if you go to stopline3.org, you can look at the map and see that this pipeline is a replacement project, but it takes a pretty different route than the pipeline that exists right now that it's supposed to be replacing. So it's a bit more like a brand new pipeline than it is a replacement project. And if you'll bear a second, I'm gonna need to lower my tripod to walk through this. my hand if you need to at any point.
Alright,
I'm oh, I can't promise that I'll help you, but I'm here. Oh, don't get stabbed in the face by oh no. Try going fast, because I'll be safer. For anyone just in this at the Line 3 pipeline resistance, just north of the town of Palisade, Minnesota. Some Minnesota lawmakers have made their way here today to observe the construction and hear from those that are resisting this Line 3 pipeline project. Here's the Mississippi River, covered in ice and snow. It's pretty cold out here right now.
my lodge sister here.
Tanya's right there.
Yeah, come over here, Nancy, and then where's Tanya?
She's coming.
Nancy, you gotta go around that way.
Okay.
You gotta go around.
Where's Martha? No, you just keep it live. We need to get the show what we're done with it too.
Where's she done? Did you want to sing too, huh? When you're done. Okay, we'll just do a little bit. Okay. Now here's Tanya. Tanya, you want to come over here since you made the lodge with me? There's kind of I'm not exactly what you're sure to say, but we made this as a praying lodge. You know, we didn't know where the line was. We just made a praying lodge there, and we had a lot of different ceremonies in here. Tanya and I, we're both members of the Medewan Society. You know, when Enbridge's proposal came in and they had a cultural resources, you know, first our tribe submitted what's called the Anishinaabe Cultural Impact Assessment. We said that the state and the federal process for reviewing what was culture was not accurate. And that, you know, what they said is the historic preservation officers and are you know, told that they can look at things that are dead. I said, we're not dead. You know, so this is part of the challenge that we faced is that, you know, as Anishinaabe people, we're not a dead culture, we're a living culture. And, you know, we testified from day one, we said, you know, there's things here you don't see. This is our life here. There's spirits here, there's lodges, this food is our medicine. You know, this is where we get our life from. And you know, so it's unquantifiable in the paradigm that the state uses. Can I just say that simply? You know, and we said, and so like if the state says they want to respect Indigenous knowledge, you know, it'd be really good if they actually would respect it. You know, and so we started from the start, and you know, our comments to the, you know, we're pretty explicit. You know, I actually criticized them. I said, y'all are looking for pot sharks. We're still here. You know, and so we did this, and you know, our cultural practice is pretty much a continuum. You know, I know her father. You know, her grandfather told us some stories that I carry. You know. Wene Buju stories, those are told. You know, and her family is long keepers of my family too. And so we built this lodge of pray here, and you know, because we're serious about our spiritual practice. And then, as I said, we came in, that stake was here. You know, which indicated nobody had done an assessment. You know, that they intended to just plow through. And so then that's when you know, and you saw those exclusionary zone notice. That was put up when we was in the lodge. You know, but you know, for our perspective, you know, what we know is that you know, Anishinaabe people, you know, there's not a dollar item on this one. You know, there's not a way to quantify that, and you know, our religious freedom is upheld by the federal law, American Indian Religious Freedom Act. You know, and we would think that the freedom to practice our religion, you know, should be upheld, even by the state, you know. And, you know, to be honest, from what I could see, Enbridge doesn't even need this because they're drilling way over there. You know, it doesn't change the situation that the pipeline is wrong. But, you know, I was like, why you got to plow everything? Why do you got to plow us? And where's your cultural resource monitor? You know, we were told they come out, we didn't see them. And then, you know, we were told that they call this a discovery, what's they call it? An unanticipated discovery. That's what we're called, you know. And I don't know, we anticipated us. I mean, you know, if they had actually asked us. And then the other thing I want to point out is that since we are live people and we're both Medewan members, like, who is the cultural resources monitor? Who gets to decide what's sacred? Yeah. I mean, do they outrank us? You understand what I'm saying? We're like Medewan society members. Who gets to decide what's sacred? You know, does that Empress? Is that the state of Minnesota? Like, who gets to decide, right? You know, and us ladies come in here, you know, as a lot of
jurisdiction.
They don't. And then there's a lot of other Ojibwe women have come in here and prayed, and you know, we had a ceremony for an eagle in here a couple days ago. You know, people come in here, so this is I don't know, this is our lodge, but and then they, you know, in our practice, there's a lot of things, you know, we you know, they started, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things we could do to do more in here, but our lodges, you know, now we put a lid on it or a roof on it, but you don't put a roof on it in our religion. Like, we just look up there because, you know, you got the direct line to the Creator right there. Why would you put a roof on it? You know, and so that's what, you know. But I believe it's, you know, they did call it a contemporary site. I guess so, huh? Anyway, I don't know if you guys have any questions, but this is, you know, I'm not going to invite you all in the lodge because it's not really for that practice, you know. But I know that we have a sister here who wanted to do a song, and I was going to ask her if she'd think about that. Is that good? You want to come here? And then I don't know if y'all had some questions and stuff. She came from Mille Lacs. This is her neck of the woods too. Oh, this is 17 or something. Oh, let me get you a little more of that swamp tea in here. A large collection of Indian medicines going on in life. Take my mask off. It's a water song. Try my best. I'm scared. So, you know, the other thing I want to say too is that our tribal historic preservation officer was actually threatened by arrest from the DNR if she came in here. And the state historic preservation officer was also told she couldn't come in here. And so I want to know who's in charge. That's what I want to know. You know, it's a reasonable thing to ask the state of Minnesota. You gave all this away, and the tribes, you know, you want to know who's responsible.
Yep.
Right?
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah, but you know, in the meantime, grateful for the state because they've made a wreck between here and the Willow River. You know, just plowed everything, and they're about to come in here. I mean, they're probably mashing up on the Edge Creek, right over there. And this is the other thing is that historically, the Savannah Portage is up here, but like even in our Medewan schools, this area here, such a, you know, long time place for our people, you know, and in our instructions. And then, you know, as our sister was saying, Dawn, earlier, you know, a lot of our people died. A lot of our, you know, we're lucky to be here because they were forced from Wisconsin, ended up at Sandy Lake in the middle of the winter, and 400 of them died on the shore of Sandy Lake. You know, and so for this, that's one of the reasons we fought so hard to protect Sandy Lake, because all our people were buried there. And then the Fond du Lac tribe was put in the position of having to pick an ecosystem to destroy. You know, pick one. It's kind of like a Sophie's Choice thing. You know, pick one to kill. You know, and they picked this one. And that's wrong to force our tribes and then pretend like, you know, we're dividing them because we're so smart. No, we're dividing them because what they did to Fond du Lac, as they said, you know, Fond du Lac is facing not only this, but they're facing the mine. They're facing the Polymet mine. And they probably said, you know, Enbridge has already got 6 lines through here. We'll just wait. We'd like to get those cleaned up too, but in the meantime, we got to fight Polymet. So who did that to these tribes? Who did that? The state did that. You know? It's like these things that, you know, that's why there's these, our tribes all believe in the water, but it put us in a situation where now there's this, you know, pretend made up conflict between our tribes over, you know, who gets the most Enbridge money and who gets the most Enbridge, you know, destruction. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be done. We should be done. You know, so this is like an opportunity for the state to stand with us, and, you know, I know you guys are on our side and we really appreciate it. But you know, this is really not just about this lodge here on the river, or, you know, those young people up there. I mean, don't forget those young people. You know, I mean, we're all living pretty cush compared to those kids, right? And then there's a young African-American man who's facing a whole bunch of felony charges for what? Locking himself to one of those pieces of equipment. And him and the Palestinian sister got even higher charges than the white kids before. Welcome to Minnesota, you know? And so we're also asking, and I know I asked the sheriff to make sure that there was some due diligence and investigations, because framing people with terrorism charges is not acceptable. You know, and that's exactly what we're looking at. The state, the BCA is here, the FBI is here. You know, there's been surveillance for quite a while on all of us. You know, I'm just saying go to the river and pray. That's what I'm saying, and I'm saying, you know, as far as I could see, the Supreme Court just said that was our right, huh? Can't stop that. So, it looks like some more people are here to pray. You know, but we just encourage people to go down there and, you know. Anyway, I don't know if you got any questions, but, you know, this is our lodge we made, and you know, we wanted to do some improvements on it, but we've been facing imminent arrest for that. Oh, look, someone's bringing like snacks down to the river.
They said they had lunch for us.
Yeah. So I'm proud to stand with my sisters here. You know, I've been at this for 7 years trying to get the system to work. You know, glad we have a lodge. Yeah, and I know there's lunch up there. You know, so I don't know if you guys got any other questions. We could just thank you for coming to our lodge. You know, and we're gonna keep praying here, and thank you, you know, for coming. And like I said, we had an eagle ceremony. An eagle got killed, and we had a little eagle ceremony for that a couple days ago here, and got more. You know, we did this to pray. You know, and we come back here to pray. And it's nice. It's like when you're in here, it's like y'all don't exist.
Who's got your
In a good way. In a good way.
That's in a good way. That's in a good way. And one thing I wanted to make note before we all leave here today, and I'm Nancy Bolio, I'm Leech Lake, and I'm one of the co-founders of RISE. And some of the biggest work that we do is we like to educate people on treaties. And most importantly, what we must remind everybody is that treaties are very much alive today as the day they were signed.
Oh.
They were intended for us to be good neighbors and to be good stewards of the earth. And I want to remind every non-native person that listens today or might hear our live feeds is that you too are treaty people. You all didn't give us the land or the hunting and fishing and gathering rights. We gave those to you. And you must be here in a good way. And that's what we stand here for today, is because we are still here.
Oh.
And we are the seeds that our ancestors planted. And we're going to continue to stand for all that is sacred. And every single one of you people here, you guys are sacred too.
Oh.
We are not above nature, we are nature. And we must respect Mother Earth. So I ask all our non-native allies, uphold the treaties. It's an obligation. I'd like to say responsibility, but not everybody takes responsibility, as we see with Enbridge. But we need our non-native allies to stand with those on those treaties. You guys have an obligation to protect Mother Earth too. So Chimi Gwitch for being here.
Oh, Pinagigi.
Wopala.
I can't believe they put the stake right in the middle. I know. They could have done 10 feet further over.
I think it was a
message.
very intense.
You can see that stake in the center of the lodge there. The construction that we saw when we were up on the road is right up there. And you can see a path of the blue flags where they've put stakes, where the route is going to go straight through the center of this lodge. And then that's the Mississippi River.
Oh, right in the middle. They put it in after the lodge was put up to kind of to be in their face.
What did they put in there?
Oh, construction stake right in the middle.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, one blue string that's put up after. Very good. Good picture.
So as they mentioned, when they put this lodge here, they hadn't measured exactly where the pipeline route was supposed to go. But Enbridge has put the post with the stake with the blue flags on it right in the center.
Are you posting your video anywhere?
It's live streaming.
Oh, cool. Where to? Oh, wonderful. Good.
Also status too on YouTube. I was supposed to stream with 2 different phones, but the other one didn't work.
Oh.
So I'm streaming to a lot of places.
Yeah.
It makes it a little harder to talk about.
I'm streaming.
It was awful watching them put that plank on.
Emma, can I snatch some of your footage too off the...
Yeah.
To get the credit? I got some stuff. But we'll be in touch. Really good to see you. I'm going to be taking off soon.
Okay.
If I don't see you.
Yeah, send me a message, and
Yes.
I'll send you all the pictures.
Awesome. You're awesome.
You are too.
Takes one to know one. This isn't our first
No.
rodeo, is
No,
it?
I was just gonna say that. So if you were watching when we came in here, we started on Great River Road over there, and we walked down under the power lines through this clearing up here to the Mississippi River where this lodge is. But now we're walking back, and we'll be able to walk right where they've been clearing for line 3.
I miss Gaston now.
Yeah.
I think if I come up again this midweek, I'll bring him up.
I didn't realize we had a dog with us until it whined. It's a little slippery out here, sorry guys. I live about 2.5 hours south of here in the Twin Cities. So we're basically just 2.5 hours straight north of the Twin Cities, just north of Palisade, Minnesota. We don't have snow in the Twin Cities right now, but as soon as I got about a half an hour from here, the snow started. And it's slowed down now, but it's had been snowing pretty heavily. It's very pretty, but it's made everything very slippery. So right now we're walking on wood. This is the wood that they lay down for the heavy machinery to be able to drive on. You can see that this spot has been cleared. Got a little guy in the path.
What are you doing?
He's taking a break?
I think he's dead. That's what happened.
Oh no.
He's in a very big battle right now.
That happens.
Oh, careful with that stick.
Yeah, you want to poke somebody?
Can't poke anybody if you stick out big, okay? Lose your walking privileges. I will
Don't
carry
poke
you.
yourself in the face either.
Find a ride back.
I found one for tomorrow.
Right, when we get back on that road, I'm gonna have to switch out my battery again. When I got out of the car, my car said it was 20 degrees. My phone was fully charged. And after streaming for about 15 minutes, it told me that I had 20% battery left. 2 great backup. It looks like it's already gone through the first one. Line 3 and this resistance here. You can go to stop.org to learn more. There's information there of the resistance against this pipeline. been years long. It's just attention right now, as obviously this construction is happening now.
I'm just glad it's treatment. Yeah, the treatment's going well. That's like.
Thank you. Did you say you're staying with your mom then?
Yeah.
Good turn.
For anyone that wasn't watching before, this is the pathway that Line 3 is going to take. They've already begun crossing the Willow River that way. We were just by the Mississippi River over there, and in the trees just above that white truck right there, you can kind of see right in the trees there are 2 water protectors that are camping up in the trees. You can see those couple of trees stick out a little bit further because the Enbridge is unable to knock those trees down because there's humans in them. I believe they've been in there now for over a week. Hey, how are you?
Doing all right, you?
Good.
Nice to get some photography out of the city.
Yes, except batteries don't want to stay charged.
Yeah, especially
Right.
in the cold.
Yeah, I see that club. Those are people.
Yeah.
Let me just put some tobacco on.
And I'm gonna swap out my battery quick. Crossing through the zone we're not supposed to.
No.
Am I watching?
Oh, yeah.
I was talking and Jasper was his ears.
Oh, funny.
Ears
Try again with this one.
Yes, cool.
That you can see up there.
Hello, tree friend. Tree friend.
So here is the pathway. pictures.
And do you have a timeline when you're hoping to put it out?
Well, I don't just ton of footage. Middle of the week?
Yeah, I think the sooner the better. I can hustle on it. I know the sooner the better. Otherwise I can kind of come around.
Hey, for anyone just tuning in, this is the pathway of line 3 right here. There's construction, a little bit of folks right down there, but I've heard that because it is Sunday, it's a lot slower right now. This is the area. So you can see these couple of trees stick out right here. They have not been cleared back as far as all the rest of the trees because there are 2 water protectors camped out that have been in these trees. There's one on the right and one on the left there. Platforms that they're on. I believe they've been in there for over a week. You can see it's surrounded by yellow tape that says sheriff line, do not cross. You can see how these trees stick out because they cannot be knocked down because there's humans in them. All right, I'm gonna end the stream now.